Are you guys ready for another comedian? Absolutely. Your next comic coming to the stage is one of the co-producers here at Gnarly. He's one of the reasons we're all here. You know him. You love him. It's Bear Love.
Gotta get this out of the way. Hippies are a little clumsy. How we doing, Golden? Awesome. I'm from East Lansing, Michigan. You ever heard of the Michigan State Spartans? All right. I identify with that. You know the movie 300? Yes, I was 300 out of 305 in my graduating class. Last. The Warriors mentality. My name is Bear. I've always been called Bear. Unless I was hitchhiking in Mexico, then they thought I was saying my name was Beer. They said, Beer? They're like, this stupid American named himself Beer. I said, no, Bear. And so I would say it in Spanish, Oso. And they all gave me one look and said, Oso? Oso polar? Polar bear. Yep, I hitchhiked around the whole country. Dame un aventón. Necesito ride. It means the way of the airplane. I need a ride. And even around the peyote fields, I even found the peyote field down there. And it was funny, I found 3 groups of people looking for peyote. One was this German girl, and me and her struck out. We walked around the desert getting pricked by cactuses all day and did not find any peyote. But she had the number to a peyote shaman. Yep, he's got a cell phone. And guess what? When we got to the peyote shaman, the El Jefe de la Desierto, guess what he had a picture of? Him and Matthew McConaughey together. All right. So now the second person, after I struck out with her, we ended up going to the shaman, but I found this Polish altar boy. He was a Catholic altar boy from Poland, and Spanish was his third language, English second language, Polish first language. So there was a little bit of a language barrier when he was talking to the Mexicans about peyote. They said, oh, you're an altar boy? You're spiritual? Espiritu? And they said, oh, we know about a spiritual food called peyote. And he'd never done a drug before. He goes, oh, a spiritual food? Gee golly, I must try this. I didn't know God left spiritual foods out there. And so he went 3 days in the desert eating peyote out there by himself. And he said he would have died out there in the desert, but he brought a pack of Snickers. And that's what saved him. And I was like, that's a Snickers commercial. Why wait? Eat a Snickers, dying from peyote starvation. And then the third group was a group of people from Michigan, just like me, which is random. There was hitchhiking to El Jefe's, and we picked them up on the way to El Jefe's. But they had the idea they were going to take the peyote back to the hotel and do it instead of out in the desert. And I was like, no, you guys can use my tent, because I thought I was going to be up for 3 days like the Polish guy. No, he ate peyote for 3 days. That's why it lasted 3 days. They keep eating it. So I was cold after 8 hours, and it wore off, and they were all in my tent. I was like, oh, shoot, I messed up on this one. So, yeah, I was actually just down there at a party in Cabo San Lucas. You know how wild those parties get in Cabo San Lucas? Yeah. Get a tattoo you regret. Get really drunk, say stuff to your friends, adopt a kid. You guys didn't? Oh, yeah. So we adopted a 19-year-old. We found him at a party. He was down there, and it was a month-long party. So he was hanging out with us for like a week, and then we were going back to the border of San Diego. And he's like, can I hitch a ride? And, we're hippies, so I was like, yeah, come with us. So he's riding with us for a week. We're going to surf spots. We're literally walking across the border, and Pablo goes, okay, guys, have a good one. Like, what the fuck? And it was a bad time for him to tell us that he just got deported from L.A. Yeah. And so I'm feeling pretty privileged to go surfing that day. So I was like, I'm not just leaving you here, bro. I'm going to go sell my computer, and me and you are hitchhiking to your fucking uncle's house. So if you look at it 2 ways, if you're a Trump supporter, I took one of them home for you. Yeah. If you're a bleeding heart liberal, I took that poor 19-year-old kid to his family's house. Yeah. So, but he could speak Spanish, and I was big, so I was like, we're going to get down there. So, dame un aventón, necesito ride. We got down there, I got him to his uncle's house, it was really cool. And I found the peyote. I've been living down there for like 6 months to almost a year. And there was one thing, because it's more free down there. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You could ride with the van doors open, rolling down the road. So I call that La Tierra de la Libertad. Here it's the land of no. No drinking, no smoking, So I come back, but the only thing I couldn't handle is who knows reggaeton music. Doom, da-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-da-da, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. I didn't speak Spanish, so I didn't know what he was saying in between. But that beat for 6 months straight. It's all your, I thought it was the common song, you know, when like a Lady Gaga song, we hear that whole song on the radio. I thought it was like the current song, but it's the whole genre down there. So I only returned from Mexico, I was gonna live down there, to get myself an iPod. Just so I could have my own music. So hippies, we're not really big into technology, but if I could trade my freedom of being watched by the government and Big Brother for my own music choice, that's what I came back to from Mexico. So, but hippies were a little bit worried about the government, but you guys here in Colorado legalized pot. Yeah. Kind of put me out of a job. But now I'm not as paranoid with the government watching us. But if they're going to be looking in on us all the time, I feel like they should be giving us some stats. You know what I mean? Like Spotify Wrapped. You know what I mean? Like, am I really the worst driver in Denver, or just my ex-girlfriend says that? I think I'm like top 1% of people laying in bed while I text I'm on the way. They have these numbers, you know, and for the older people, you know, I think Facebook knows how many people separate us from Kevin Bacon. Is it 6? But I've got gray in my beard and I just started stand-up comedy, so you can say I might be going through a midlife. But my generation just doesn't do my midlife crisis like my dad's generation. He bought a Corvette. We don't have Corvette money. So a midlife crisis for my generation looks like this. 40-year-old should be trading recipes with the other moms at school, but instead she's getting her head shaved this weekend. Yeah, my mom's generation, they cut bangs in their hair. This generation, whole thing, bye-bye. Where's our Britney Spears? I know she's out here. But I'm not just picking on the single girls. There's the single guys out there. We're going through a midlife crisis too. He should have joined the military, but instead he's been working the last 25 years at a factory with his dad. His knees aren't there anymore. But you'll find him at Bass Pro Shop this weekend looking for night vision goggles to hunt a deer. If you need night vision goggles to hunt a deer, you are not the warrior we need, Tanner. So I'm not just picking on the singles. Our couples, we're not doing it right. Any couples out there? Okay. You guys met each other in high school sweethearts here in Golden. You literally made out at Lookout Mountain. All right. And the last couple weeks on Facebook, you've been in an open relationship? All right. You guys were homecoming king and queen, and you grew old and fat together. Now you're in an open polyamorous relationship. Gross. Just stay with your man. All right, you guys have a good night. We got a bunch more comics. You guys have a good night.
Bear love, everybody. Clap your hands for him. And how are you guys doing? You hanging in there? All right.